That man over there is the other Tom in the room. He is Tom Papa. Christy Lee is looking great over there.
Thank you.
Chick wants to know, so he's too embarrassed to ask. Is Papa short for something?
No.
It is
It's
really
P-A-P-A.
Papa.
Oh, it's
Right.
a cool name.
It's
Did you
from
ever come out?
Sicily.
Oh, you ever come to Papa by Bob Seger? I'm sure you've heard.
Yes.
You do that every now and
Yeah, people do it once in a while.
Papa don't preach.
I
There's a
always
lot
feel
of
like I should come out to Biggie Smalls. That's why they call me Big Papa.
then. Oh, yeah.
That's how I see myself.
Yeah, that might
And
not
they
work
see
for
me as
other.
the Bob Seger version.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
you
Tom
go.
Papa is a very fine stand-up comedian, and you have kind of a regular gig now
Yeah.
on Live from Here.
Yeah. Formerly known as Prairie Home Companion.
And you are traveling this great country of ours and analyzing cities everywhere.
Yeah. I took over the comedy. I'm the head writer of the comedy spoken word portion of it. Because Chris Thiele is the host now. Garrison Keeler pass it on to Chris, and Chris is a virtuoso mandolin player.
Absurdly good on an instrument. It's
Absurdly good.
you can't
not-
believe it's possible.
Yeah, it's amazing. And he was a child prodigy. He's completely super talented. But mandolin player does not appear on a lot of comedians' resumes. So
There's probably one guy. There's probably one guy though.
yeah.
It's the mandolin comedian. Remember the comedian that came through here, played bass clarinet?
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Hampton Nucci's. Remember
That's dedicated.
Malone and
Yeah, I
Nucci's?
guess, yeah.
One guy
He
played
seemed-
guitar, other played bass clarinet.
Wow.
Wow, that was
He seems to have made a big impact on the gang.
it's a shame they're not touring anymore.
Very funny. Well, Tom, it's good to see you, sir.
You too. You know, this is the first time I'm seeing you.
Yeah, we talked.
I have never been here.
never been here?
Not once. You guys have been so great to me over the years when I'm calling in, promoting whatever I'm promoting. And this is the first time that I'm seeing you.
And that's probably why when I walked in and said hi, you didn't know who I was.
Yeah, we just assumed you knew us.
Well, you were so.
said
It's a joke.
I was expecting a bigger reception, but I think you thought we'd met before.
No, I was just in a rush. I had to get back in. I sanitized, shook your hand, and came back in and sanitized again.
Mr.
Good
Papa,
idea.
think
It
of
is-
the weirdest person you know. I'm saying Mr. Papa because you're both Tom. Think of the weirdest person you know, and Tom's weirder than
That's
that.
false.
That's not
No,
false.
that's absolutely a bullseye head on.
Do your kids call you Papa?
No, they're Papa.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's true. You got a
They're-
Papa problem.
They're Papa too. No, I don't see my children very often. I'm on the road, driving through the snow, from radio show to radio show. These children you speak of are just icons on my phone.
What do you know? This actually raises a question. What do your kids call you?
Mom.
Did you call you mom? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, to my face, I don't know what they call it.
Chick
Behind my back.
Depends.
How old?
I have a 15 and a 19-year-old,
15-year-old.
both girls.
Me too. And a 15-year-old and a 12.
Oh, yeah, you're just into it.
Yeah. 15-year-old is sweet, nice.
It's about to end.
Yeah.
12-year-old is coming with a pack of cigarettes and an attitude.
Yeah, and
I think-
and a smartphone.
Yeah. That one's going to be trouble. I can feel it. I can see it.
You know, but they call you mom.
Yeah.
Josh, did you call your dad or?
Yeah, mom and dad. Yeah, just, you know, sometimes pops. every
Your
now and
kids
again.
call you by your name. That's weird.
Sometimes I don't like my sister's kids call her Jan, which is
Yeah,
weird.
that's weird to me.
Always, especially when it's like a 3-year-old. Jan, come over here and
Oh, even when they were tiny, they called her Jan?
yeah, they have English accents because they live in England. But
Right.
it's just weird. No, my kids either call me pops or daddy. It depends which
Yeah.
one though. Like Chick, each one kind of has their own.
Well, mine
thing.
depends on what if she wants something. The baby girl, she'll
Which is
dad mostly, but daddy. It's like that's fine.
No, I
Here you go.
I had a
Here's my
friend. I had a friend.
wallet. Go.
I had a friend when he was a kid. It was very formal. He literally would address his father as father.
Oh.
Father.
Father.
Yes, father.
Father, where are my drumsticks, father?
Oh, my God.
When I was a kid, there was my friend's parents. The mom talked to the dad and called him father.
Yeah.
That's creepy. Like she's
Sure.
husband to wife, wife to husband. Father, Do you know where the children are?
That's very.
It's very common.
I get
of
the
mom is a lot
Victorian,
more.
Yeah.
Victorian
Mom.
age, right? I
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandpa would have occasionally called my grandma mother.
Really?
Mother. There's something weird about that.
Isn't that didn't the elder George Bush do that as well?
I'm not sure.
Hey,
I
mother.
think you did. Yeah, that's
That
kind of
is weird.
No, that you have a lot of variation in the world of grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember calling
Yeah.
mine deceased, sadly.
You know what? Always funny what you're doing. Hey, Josh, what do you call your grandparents?
Now?
Yeah.
Deceased.
Yeah.
I think we all do, don't we?
Yeah, they're all gone.
Yeah, sadly.
I miss having old people in my life. I liked when there was like little ladies walking around with little hairdos. You can't always having little fruit in their bag and stuff. I don't have that in my life anymore.
The Werther's original candies.
Yeah.
What do you have in a
I
hard
always have a
candy?
Kleenex.
Yeah, balled up Kleenex for you.
Do we have any old people in the news today?
Do we?
I don't know.
They're all old in the
Well,
news.
we had the older couple who
Oh,
got
we had the
engaged.
70-year-olds that
Oh,
got
yeah.
engaged at the conch blowing
And I
festival.
don't think we had the conch blowing them celebrating with the sound, did we?
Okay, this will.
Did you hear this, Tom?
No.
You won't be hearing this on
Have you
your
ever heard
show.
a conch being blown?
I have.
A Florida retiree has won the women's division in Key West's annual conch shell blowing contest. 70-year-old Mary Lou Smith impressed the judges with this.
Gee, that scared the hell out of me.
The thing is, this goes on forever.
That's how
like
she
you're-
won.
Yeah.
That's why
got
she
big
won.
lungs.
I think the name of that song is Tinnitus.
It's like the horn is stuck on your car.
Try holding your breath. She's good. I'd be out of breath
I would
already.
not be able to do that.
Something's got to
Yeah,
Here
that
comes
was
the
pretty
proposal.
good.
Mary Lou, we've been together long enough now for me to know that I want you for the rest of my life.
There you go.
They
Marriage
did a joyous
proposal.
duet on their conch shells.
Retirement's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. He's 73, she's 71. At that point, you go, why?
Well, if we're talking about old people, my favorite old people story of the week, of course, involves the world record swimmer.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah? What do you got?
99-year-old.
99-year-old guy
in the 100-year-old division.
Yes,
In
which
the-
isn't fair.
in the 100-year-old division set the new world record.
He was the only competitor.
Cheater.
That's correct. There's a video of this guy. He's the
He
only
beat
one
the record by
competing.
35 seconds. It was 50 seconds something.
Of course, he's 99.
Yeah.
But they gave him the weird thing is they put him in the division of those. Here it is, the 100 to 104 age category. Now, what disturbs me about this
Think
is
about that.
if there's a 100 to 104, not just 100 and up, that means there must be a 105 to something category.
Yeah.
Which is
It has to go 105 up.
Yeah.
that's generous.
Yeah.
You're being very kind.
Well, your swimming skills really fall off at 105.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's a big shift there. It would be unfair to put the 105 with the 103.
Well, you can practice all you want because your skin won't wrinkle anymore.
Actually smooths out.
Yeah, the 90-year-old man is this gent's name is George Corones. I don't know how you pronounce that. He swam the
That's not it.
Corones, maybe. George swam the 50-meter freestyle in 56.12 seconds, setting a world record for those over 100, even though he doesn't turn 100 until April.
I'm assuming they didn't have any other
Wow.
contestants.
They know there's a video, and when they start, a guy literally pats him on the butt.
Well, they have to help him up onto the starting block.
Yeah, well, of course, he's 99
push him
years
in.
old.
They push him in.
Push him
Swim
in.
or die, Grandpa.
I wasn't really competing. I was trying to save my own life. That's what I was doing.
It reminded him of swimming to the lifeboat when he was on the Titanic.
That's right.
I thought we were going to the mall.
And that swim diaper kind of drags him down. But he's a sweet guy, and let's hope he continues to do that. I don't know why we're talking about growing very, very old. We are talking to
hopefully
Because we
all
miss our
will.
grandparents.
Yeah,
If
we
our
do.
parents weren't such quitters, they'd be around.
Were your grandparents alive when you were a kid?
They were.
What'd you call them? Was it the standard grandma, grandpa? Or,
Grandma, Grandpa, and Nana.
yep.
There was a Nana in there.
Okay. There's a lot of variations for names on that these days.
Meemaw, Paw
a good
Paw,
Yeah.
Mimi, Pop Pop.
Yeah, Gigi.
Ace, did
Gigi.
were your grandparents alive? What'd you
They're
call
not
them?
anymore, but
Well, yeah, we kind of did a survey of the room and
you didn't ask me.
figured that out.
Pops.
Pops? Okay. Was your grandpa Pops?
Yeah, Pops and
No,
Grandma.
that was Grandma. He called her.
Yeah.
No, because no. Let me finish. No.
She
What
had
did,
a lovely
what did I
beard.
call my aunt? Pop.
Pop?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't remember
Because of her
that.
mustache?
No, because when
Was
my
this the crazy one?
yeah, when my sister was little, her name was Flossie, and
Yeah.
she would say Posse, and it turned into Pop.
Well, I'm glad Pop. Yeah,
That could have gone.
I'm glad Pop was the
That could
nickname.
have gone so far south.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay, we've sat in this room for almost 30 years. You've never told
I'm
us
glad
that
her name was
story.
Flossie and not Flossie.
Text
Janny and ask her?
Janny right now. Text Janny and say, what did you
No,
call
don't
Aunt
do that. You'll be
Flossie?
on the phone the rest of the
Flossie. Flossie, Posse, Pop.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a little. It was
So
sweet.
it wasn't
was a sweet
Flossie-
little girl. Don't go down vulgar road on me,
Flossie,
Mr.
Pussy.
Papa.
I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. No,
I
seriously.
thought it was a charming
That's
story.
interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah. So, the time right now.
Aunt Lucy didn't fare as well.
No.
Did Pop have a goatee?
No.
No.
That's a long story. She actually lived to be about 90 and didn't.
She
have-
never married, did she?
No.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
Did she?
Did she have any friends that would come over for dinner?
That you insisted on calling Tommy call her aunt? Something?
Yeah, right.
She was active in the physical education community.
Ah, yes.
Smoking camels. Get over here, Pop.
No, she smoked Kent's.
Kent's.
Kent.
Yeah, I
They
remember
still
Kent's.
make those.
Smoking into your 90s.
Right.
What did your sister call?
Actually, she lives in Kent, so it all. Who knew? Who knew? Where do you live now?
Los Angeles, California.
Where were you? Where'd you grow up?
New Jersey and New York.
What part of New Jersey?
Bergen County, North Jersey, about 20 minutes outside the city.
Yeah, did you spend a lot of time in the city when you were a kid?
I did. And I could see from my desk, I could see the Empire State Building out in the
Wow.
distance.
Wow.
Yeah, and it always looked so cool when you're sitting in New Jersey with your little desk.
Have you ever been up to the top?
Yeah, I took my kids up there. Scary.
Was it the first time?
No, I think I had been when I was a kid.
Because a lot of people from New York never do the cool New York stuff.
Yeah, I've never gone to the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, it's the greatest.
Yeah.
It's
A
also,
little claustrophobic.
Yeah. Oh, you went up in the stairs, the
Yeah.
weird little stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that, Josh?
No, when I went, it was closed off for some remodeling or something, so we can only cruise around the island.
Right.
Did you ever take the Circle Line tour where you go around Manhattan,
Yeah.
up the Harlem and the East River and down the Hudson and everything? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, when I lived in New York, I was part of this group called the Saturday Morning Club, and we would go down to the projects and take kids around. And
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Now you made it nice. I thought you guys were just a bunch of guys that got
no,
together on
no,
Saturday morning.
no. But it was, it was a great thing because it was one of those things where you got to see all the cool New York stuff
Yeah.
that most of the people from New York never bother doing. Going
That is
around the
cool.
island, going to the Statue of Liberty. We walked across the George Washington Bridge.
Cool.
I've done that.
Yeah, that was kinda
That's a long.
tell you what
was- bounces.
Yeah.
Tell you what was scary about that. Yeah, A, it moves a lot.
Yeah.
And B, now they may have repaired this. As you may know, the infrastructure of this great country of ours needs some work. There were spots in it on the sidewalk part. There were holes you could have dropped a football through.
Wow.
So when you're escorting
Children.
a bunch
Yeah.
of 10 and 12-year-olds, trying to keep them in line. But we did all the cool New York stuff.
That's cool. The late great Greg Giraldo and I, he had a boat, and we he was new to boating, and we didn't know what we were doing. He's like, let's see if we can go around Manhattan. Can we? I mean, it stops. There's water up there. So we navigated our way through the East River through like planks and all this horrible things and shopping carts. And then we got to the top, and it was like, oh, there's a little gate. I guess we can't get through. And we're just sitting there like two dumb comedians. And all of a sudden, this little guy in a little hut presses a button and the thing opened, and we went through to the other side of the Hudson. We were so excited. It was like Columbus discovering America. Look what we did.
We are joined by comedian Tom Papa, and we also have a couple news things we need to get to here. Christy, you've got them over there?
A man suspected of swallowing a stash of drugs has won his freedom and a standoff with police after refusing to go to the bathroom for 47 days. You'll recall we talked about this story. We've been talking about this story. Lamar Chambers was arrested in Harlow, Essex on January 17th and charged with 2 counts of possessing drugs with intent to supply. The 24-year-old refused to take laxatives or be x-rayed during his time in custody, but continued to eat and drink. Essex police tweeted daily updates of what they described as poo watch. I called it poop watch, but same thing.
So they've
But officers decided to release Mr. Chambers from custody Monday following medical and legal advice. And the Crown Prosecution Service, the CPS, dropped the charge. This, of course, is in the United Kingdom. Since his release from custody, he has been taken to a hospital for treatment. Deputy Chief Constable B.J. Harrington said, quote, police forces have legal and ethical responsibility for the welfare of anyone brought into the police custody. On the basis of all medical evidence in this case, it is most apparent both the interests of Mr. Chambers and of justice to ensure he receives the hospital treatment that he needs.
What would happen to your body if you?
I don't know how he's not.
Wouldn't you just be asleep and it would just emerge?
You would think so.
Yeah, I don't know how if he's still eating and drinking, how is he not doing it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This sounds like the worst Hollywood pitch ever. Hey, listen, you heard about that guy that didn't use the toilet for 47 days? Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah.
A good Law and Order. Boom.
Yeah.
What would it be? What would it be? The Shawshank Retention? What would it be? But how is that physically possible?
That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
So, but
The
they
brown
sent him.
lie.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
But they sent him to a hospital, so there must be some damage he's done to himself.
I would think
Ew.
it could kill you. Sepsis.
Yeah, you'd think something would burst.
But wouldn't whatever it was in eventually?
The bong.
Whatever the drugs were in, wouldn't it decompose enough or whatever so that the drugs would go into your system and kill you?
I bet so.
Depends. Yeah, it depends.
Wow.
Depends. I get it.
There you go.
Yeah, an inadvertent joke there. I'm better than I thought I was. So I don't understand the rule. Like, hey, this guy's not, medically, we need to release him and just let him go. Does that mean if I got arrested for something, I could just refuse to eat?
Well, first of
and
all, this
eventually
is
they'll go, hey, look, he's going to starve to death. We need to let him go.
Well, this is in the UK. It's
Yeah,
not
they may
here.
have different laws.
Right, but
I don't
yeah.
know what the search
They're
laws are.
nicer.
here. Yes,
yeah,
Jeff?
yes. They're much more polite about
They're a lot more polite.
Josh is going to go on a hunger strike, Tom.
it. All right.
Oh boy.
Tom, I don't know if you noticed I'm overweight.
No. What?
No, Josh, you raise a good question. I don't know what the laws are in the United States. I don't know if they can.
It must not have been a large quantity of drugs.
Why wouldn't he just give it up?
I don't.
47. I mean,
47
days.
He
and-
made a point. He took a stand, Tom.
Yeah, well, I hope they gave him a newspaper when he got out. By the way, the Lou is over there. He may want to.
Hell no, I won't go. Hell no, I won't go.
Okay.
That's going to take I bet surgery is going to be involved to get all that out of there.
I would do it if I was here longer, but you guys see each other every day. Have a contest.
There you go.
That'd be the worst.
The honor system.
Mister,
Sadly, that wouldn't be the worst radio contest ever.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
true.
sure someone has done something more foolish and dangerous.
It's true. I would tune in. See the
well,
update.
that would definitely be an honor system thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will pass. Mr. Papa.
I'm just spitballing, guys.
Mr. Papa's had a lot of great ideas in his career. That wasn't one of them.
I'm just throwing it out.
Okay, here's it. Now you've been a touring comedian for many, many years.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. You may have to think for a while to get this. Do you have the worst name of a comedy club you've ever encountered?
Yeah, there's two. And one I was at just last week.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I was at Yuck Yucks in Vancouver.
Okay.
Nice spot, good people. I was up there for the Just for Laughs festival. Beautiful shows, all nice. Yuck Yucks.
Not a great name.
It's not great. It's you don't call your family with pride when you say I am performing at Yuck Yucks, only to be outdone by a club in New Jersey, which is also equally as good. Everyone you know has worked there. Bananas,
Sure.
and it's not only a horrible name. Bananas. Mom, I'm playing at Bananas. How's your career going? Great. I'm at Bananas. They also, it's in a conference room setting. They put up a fake stage and adorn the stage with inflatable and real bananas. So you're performing and a cutout of a monkey. And so as you're performing, you're framed by these banana escapades. And as comedy clubs, in my rider, I ask for like crudité, kind of like vegetable stuff. Every club you go to puts it out on Thursday, and they don't refresh it by Saturday. So just all same with the bananas. They put them up there on Thursday, and then by Saturday's show, it's a brown mess.
Some
And on Sunday, they make banana bread. It's a really nice day.
Yeah, it's nice if you can stick around for the Sunday show.
Yeah.
sometimes it's the people that have set these places up don't understand some of the fundamental things that really have to take place.
Yeah.
It's really
Like
true.
maybe having lights.
Yeah.
Maybe not having a game on a less big screen TV 10 degrees to the left of your head.
Good
Yeah,
sound
not
system.
not having
I'm sure you've had some pretty bad encounters back in the early days.
drink specials. That's always a killer.
Yeah.
You know, I remember there was one in Pittsburgh, Funny Bone or something, and they would come out. The MC would come out and have to sell all the giant drinks that you can get. There was like one that was like the size of a fishbowl. There was another one that was this long bong-looking thing. If you get this, you know, if you get the killer, you know, for $6, you can keep the glass. Oh, so by the time you roll up, the people are just downing these things, and it's just hell. There's just nobody's listening.
There was a
People-
short-lived club in the St. Louis area called Glass of Laughs, which is already
That's
just
a
terrible name.
Yeah.
terrible.
And you paid $20 and to see the show, and it was all you can drink.
Oh,
And it was nightmare.
yeah, it is horrible.
This is like a nickel beer night at Cleveland Stadium in
Yeah.
1974.
Oh my
Frat party,
God,
bachelorette party every night. Every show.
terrible.
You've probably dealt with your share of bachelorette parties, I would imagine.
Yeah, bachelorette parties. They seem to have lessened. There was a lot more, I think, when I was coming up, or maybe I was just playing worse places. I don't know, but yeah, anytime when people are walking with inflatable male parts on their heads, and in a group, and this is the third stop of the night. It's not good for the craft.
Yeah, they want they want Marcy up on stage with you.
Yeah, she's getting married. She's getting married.
Look at these straws.
You should start stripping next time. That would be so
Yeah.
funny.
I used to get real mad at bachelorette parties. And
Really?
I realized this is stupid. Why get mad?
Why fight
It's
it?
her night.
Mm-hmm.
Of course she thinks she can yell out. You know what I mean? Like
That's kind of what the attitude you need in every comedy club is. Don't fight it. Just go with it.
Yeah.
If you're in an environment where they're getting hammered, if they're on their phones, if this is not, you think it's about you. You're a small part of this bar business that's being run tonight.
exactly.
You ever record yourself on your phone or whatever, and you get home, you want to hear that joke that you told, and you listen. It's like I can hardly. The recorder was next to me. I am the quietest thing happening. There are people talking, making out, glassware. I mean, it's insane. To fight all that is foolish.
We're hanging out with comedian Tom Papa. We'll find out some of his future stops. In the meantime, we return to Christy Lee at the news desk. What have we missed?
Please, God, give me a car, maybe eternal salvation. A prayer had been uttered probably by a few people at the Maryland church last Sunday. That's because Destiny Church in Columbia, Maryland, handed out 5 used cars to, quote, demonstrate God's goodness and to attract new members.
Wow.
They did. I saw the numbers on this. They got a lot of new people. They had so many, I think they gave a 6th car away, actually.
Doesn't seem particularly, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Godly.
Yeah.
Sort of like Oprah meets church.
Yeah.
She used to give away.
Reminds me of
Yeah?
this. Remember this?
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
Or
My friends
give it
all
away.
drive Porsches. I must make
Oh,
amends.
that's a great song. I love that.
They weren't giving
great.
away Mercedes Benzes, I guarantee that.
But doesn't that take away the sanctity of going to church?
Well, it's
How do
about
you-
time. How long have we been giving to collection?
Yes.
How about you switch it up? You come to our church, we bring the basket out, we give you money.
They really needed them. They needed, people need a car. They're trying to help out.
Yeah.
Well, are they going to do it every week?
Well, they can't afford to do it every week, I would assume.
I don't know. I guess
How were these cars? How used were they?
these are all good.
I don't
good
have the Kelly
questions.
Blue Book on me, but I'll.
I want you to kick the tires and get back to me.
Yeah.
What kind were they? Does it say they
No,
weren't
it doesn't
Mercedes?
say.
They do some like clever, like Jesus Chrysler
No, I don't think so.
Jesus Christ.
tie into their particular religion. I don't know what it was. We have another crime story that kind of is. Did you see this one about the woman again?
Yeah, do we have to do this?
Well, it can't be worse than the duty one.
Oh, yeah,
it is.
can.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
A woman managed to hide a pipe plus bags and boxes of drugs inside her mommy parts.
Boxes.
Boxes while being booked into jail in Florida.
Flip a coin.
St. Johns County Sheriff's Office said they arrested 33-year-old Lillian Adams after being accused of being in possession of marijuana while driving. While being booked into jail, Adams went through a body scanner which showed something inside her private parts.
Oh, boy.
She admitted to having drugs in her private area, then
Hold them out.
hey, y'all, watch this.
And then she did 10 jumping jacks.
No, this,
Stand back.
This gets a
Man,
lot worse than you think.
She's been kegeling, that's all
Yeah.
I gotta say.
This. Well, you'll see what happens.
She pulled out a pipe. She was ordered
She
to go
pulled
through.
out a plum.
She went through the scanner again, and officers saw additional items. She then pulled out a box containing a white powder. Went through the scanner a third time. Officers still saw items. That's when she pulled out several baggies containing a white substance after being threatened with a strict search.
It's like she's got a gig as a magician's assistant.
That scarf thing.
Right.
Doesn't have to carry a backpack. That's hilarious.
Wow.
I like how she kept thinking she would get away. Like, I'll give it up, but not everything.
I could pretty much bet she's had a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe twins. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Someone who's been down that road. Yeah, she's been doing some kegling. But how does that machine work? It doesn't X-ray you. What does that work? Is it a sonic thing or something?
Must be.
This is
Wow.
the problem when drugs aren't legal. Like for marijuana, it's like you see what you're making people do. Just make it legal and let them keep it in their pocket.
Well, if it was marijuana,
I think it was a.
Yeah, boy, she really is a. Is it a bale? That's
Yeah. That's.
Well, the
Yeah, I
white
guess
powder
it-
in the box is.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably.
Literally.
Yeah.
Is it like a ring box or a shoe box? What are we talking
It
about?
didn't define the
I
size
think we
of
have
the
another
box.
kind of box we're talking about. Keep up with the story.
Well, thought that was bad.
Jeez Louise.
I'm going to do this in front of guests, but excuse me.
Another one?
A man had to have a 7-inch sex toy removed through his penis after it became lodged in his bladder.
Oh.
The unidentified patient in Taiwan, reportedly in his 30s, waited several days after the toy became stuck before seeking treatment. We saw this.
I have so
Josh-
many questions.
Okay, it was it kind of looked like
Did it enter?
a very slender snake with little
So
notches
it
on it.
entered the same way it exited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't it?
Oh,
Didn't,
he
Told
went in
doctors.
it didn't migrate from
from the bladder.
south to north.
He said he accidentally inserted the toy into his bladder while indulging in something called urethral play.
Oh, boy.
The head of
my
urology at a hospital that I cannot pronounce in Taiwan, Dr. Jian Bang Bing, that's his name, said the
And
beaded.
Dr. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah.
That's right. Yeah.
His name is Dr. Bing Bang.
Dr. Jian Bang Bing, not
Bang
Bing
Bang.
Bang, it's Bang Bing.
Okay. Is Bang Bing one word
Bang
or
Bing.
two?
Two, it's hyphenated.
Oh, of course.
It's
Well, it was
hyphenated.
Bang and then married Bing. And they took each other's names.
Dr. Bang Bing.
It's hymenated, as Dan Mazzoni would say. Said the pleated plastic rod measured, the beaded plastic rod measured 7.87 inches in length.
It looked a little like, a rattlesnake,
Yeah.
the rattle part. It looked
Right.
like a long one of those.
Right.
Oh, that sounds hot.
But I didn't know that was I didn't know that was a thing.
Apparently.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
had people put straws and stuff in there.
Ah. My God.
Okay.
Hey, don't judge.
Oh, Lord, won't you buy me?
But you got a book out, and the book is called.
book is coming out in June. It's called Your Dad Stole My Rake and Other Family Dilemmas.
Now, is that a true story?
Yeah. Well, it seemed like it was always happening in my neighborhood. There was always something going on with our neighbors. Yeah, it's all family essays on funny essays on family life. I break it down by everyone in your family. Basically, that I've been, as a comedian, observing everybody in your family for all these years. So, pets, parents, cousins,
How many?
everybody.
What do you
I break it all
brothers,
back.
sisters? What's in your family?
I've got two sisters, two younger sisters, and but I come from a large Italian family. There's like 21 grandchildren. I'm one of them, and aunts, uncles, the whole thing. So it was like I'm always digesting family, writing about family. So I decided to write a book about it. And you can pre-order it on Amazon,
There
which
you
is
go.
very exciting.
It'll show up just in time for Father's Day.
Yes, it's a Father's Day rollout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Have you heard the latest about Amazon?
No.
Oh, no, now what?
Are they going out of business?
No, not with Jeff Bezos being the most.
He's the wealthiest
Richest.
man in the history of the world,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that
Amazing.
That's everybody, right? Yeah,
But
history of the world.
Alexa is in the news
Oh, I heard about this.
because of this sound. People are finding, and I've seen videos of people, that Alexa will just start laughing out of nowhere.
Randomly.
My friend told me that. She said, because I have it. I have a couple in my home. And she keeps telling me, you've got to get rid of this. This thing is recording you. It's listening to you. And she's very paranoid. And yeah, apparently, what does that mean, though? It's laughing. So that means that the person who works it is listening and laughing at us?
That's interesting. That would be funny if somebody's listening to you and then they hear something that they think's funny and they push the button for Alexa to laugh.
But they say there's nothing.
They say
causing
it's
it.
very random.
Of course they do. What were they going to say? We're listening to all of your secrets?
They say if you want it to stop laughing, turn on the show Two Broke Girls. It will just sit there in
Oh, man.
stunned silence.
You are right.
Amazon plans to disable the command Alexa laugh and change it to Alexa, can you laugh? And then instead of laughing right away, she will say, sure, I can laugh, before she does.
You should do the voice. You're nicer than her.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you in my kitchen.
A Christie. They should have Christies in houses everywhere.
That would be nice.
Christy, how do I convert teaspoons to tablespoons?
Well, Christy
3-1, Tom.
Yeah, you'd be well. Christy's your voice, of course, famously at Arby's.
Welcome to Arby's. May I take your order, please? That's where I got my start. The
Nice.
drive-through, right there on the microphone.
and we have been offered huge amounts of cash for you to read erotic fiction.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or especially
Or not erotic, or not fiction.
Yeah, just erotica. Yeah, yeah.
Erotic,
Just,
nonfiction. How about that?
so
Have
how we
sex phone calls gone away since?
there have got to be. There
Because
have
of
to be
the
some phone
internet?
sex lines still out there because there are guys who.
that's what they're
That's
thinking.
Yeah,
what they,
they-
Like the
auditory.
guy that had the urethral play, that he's got a thing.
Yeah, something happened at some
Can you
point.
imagine that phone call? Okay, baby, I want you to talk about, go look for a flute. when you find one, get back to me. So I'm sorry. How do we get from Tom Papa's book to this? I blame myself.
It's all family life.
Tom, your book is all about family, and it's
Yes.
called, once again, My Rake. What is it?
Your dad stole my rake.
Okay.
And
Looking
other
forward to it.
other family dilemmas.
Now, with your family is named Papa.
Papa.
Would you be allowed to have called the book The Mamas and the Papas?
Sure.
Or would you have been sued by...
By the remaining. I could get away
There's
with
only
it.
one left, right?
Johnson, Sebastian?
Michelle Phillips.
Oh.
She's the
Oh,
only
yeah,
one
yeah.
left, right? But that'd be
I think so.
that'd be a kind of
Then he
a
died?
rough tour. Yeah,
Didn't even know he was sick.
he was super talented, by the way. But enough about
Yeah.
the Mamas and the Papas.
I don't know much about my mama's and papa's history, to be honest.
Oh, they were great.
Someone died eating a sandwich.
Yeah, Mama
That's
Cass.
that's
is
a
that
sad
right?
urban legend.
Oh, that's not true?
No, she didn't die eating
you
a
sure?
sandwich.
Are you
Yes,
sure?
that's
They
me.
were- they were
it was
pancakes.
nachos. Bam.
Now,
Pro comedians over here.
wait a
Bam.
second. Hang on a second. This is totally inside. This is totally inside, and I apologize. 2 hours ago,
I know.
we were talking about the fact that they were trying to set a a high five record somewhere
I
in
can't believe you're
Milwaukee.
calling me out on this.
And Josh
Made a big
made a
stink.
big deal about
Yes,
how
you
I
did.
never high five.
That's not what I said. That is not what I
I'm
said.
not a high five.
I said I don't like to high five, and a lot of times I will just look at the person and say I don't high five. I'm not going to do that to
However-
Tom Papa.
so
one of my
When that
favorite
person is a
comedians.
comedian at the level of a Tom Papa, you throw away all of your standards. You're kissing his
You
ass.
are exactly right. I cannot deny
Tom,
it.
what
That's not the first time that's happened.
we're trying to say that was a really respectful thing because
And that was a great callback. Congratulations.
I actually was filming this pilot thing recently, and we wrapped. And
by which
it
you
was-
mean a television show, not a friend of
Yeah.
yours who happens to drive airplanes.
And by wrapped, he means finished taping,
I'm
not
so
We
LA.
all knew what he was talking about.
And wrapping a pilot.
Wait a minute. What is this show he's doing?
Wrapping a
I
pilot.
can't talk about it.
I bet
but,
Southwest has a rapping pilot. I guarantee it.
as soon as it was over, I was like, they're like, all right, that's it. And I high fived this girl, Tammy. I'm like, all right, we're done. And she high fived me, and the whole crew just stopped stunned. They're like, Tammy doesn't high five.
Same thing.
She hates high fives.
I am Tammy in this scenario.
But
yeah.
Tammy got excited.
But I was happy to high
Yeah.
five you, Tom. Thanks.
It's like when John Mellencamp was here. You're not allowed to smoke in the building. John walks in, lights one up, looks around. Hey, glad to have you, John.
yeah, do
Keep
it.
smoking.
Yeah, you're gonna keep smoking. I heard Jim Brewer told me a story about Jack Nicholson. Similar thing. He comes walking into some event. It was like at a country club or something, and Jack just takes out a cigarette and lights up, and the kid like who was working there, like parking cars, whatever. I'm sorry, but there's no smoking in this area. And Nicholson just turns. I'll take my chances.
Didn't somebody try to take one out of Keith Richards' hands on stage?
Oh, really?
At Madison Square Garden or something?
Well, there's somebody that doesn't have a job anymore.
Yeah, well, hey,
Man.
which you can get away with. But I'm intrigued by the notion of when you said rapping a pilot, you said there might be a Southwest rapping pilot.
They did a
Of
bit on
course.
Saturday Night Live like that with
Oh,
the
really?
rapping flight attendants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're
I've-
hilarious.
I actually heard a really good one, and it was
Really?
on Southwest. Yeah, he was really good. Got a big round of applause.
Oh yeah,
It takes some of the tension away.
Sure.
yeah. It's nice.
I admire them when they're good at it and it's fun.
Yeah.
Nobody pays attention to those poor people when they're trying to do their safety demonstration.
Have you been in the airports where they're starting to do games at the gate? Like hula hoop games, and everyone's hanging out waiting. They're
I
like,
blame
"All right,
Jimmy
well."
Fallon for all this.
Exactly.
An 8th grade birthday party mentality.
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah, and it's so funny, and you're like, "Oh man, what have we become?" I just want to read my book and get on the
Yeah.
flight, and then you find yourself cheering for the hula hoop. You can do it. One more minute.
Yeah.
I just was doing some hula hooping on Sunday. And
As one does.
Of course,
Time out.
as you do on a Sunday. Yeah.
You didn't videotape that?
I was at the Children's Museum, and they have this really cool circus exhibit.
Oh, yes.
And they have the hula hoops. And after
Right.
after taking one in the face by some kid
Can I hit you in the face
whose
with a
parents
hula hoop?
were-
I'd really like
whose
that.
parents were apparently resting elsewhere in the building. Don't worry about Jimmy.
That was always my favorite part of the circus, the guy who did the hula hoop.
I'll tell you, Josh. There was a
Do the
young.
high wire thing?
They have a virtual high wire that's awesome. And so anyway,
Wow.
there was one little girl there who was hula hooping, and it was Michael Jackson-esque in the level of skill. I'm going, she's never going to stop. And she's 10.
Do you have a home hula hoop? You have a home
No,
hula
but
hoop
I'm going to
or
go
not?
buy some because I want to do
There
it here.
you go.
So
Josh,
what?
can you hula hoop?
It's been a while. I used to be able to. I'm sure I could.
I could when I was a kid. I'm pretty
No one's
sure I
going to.
can
No one's
now.
going to take that slow
I
pitch.
got great
Oh,
hip
yeah.
action.
If you can get the hula hoop around me.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Here,
I
let's
was
do it
going
prop-
to-
Let's do it properly.
Here's one of the fattest things I've ever done. A hula hoop is more like a belt to me.
See, I had to pay you back because of the high five that you wouldn't have done for anybody else. We're coming back with Mr. Papa. Our guest is comedian and actor Tom Papa, and Mr. Papa, which that does sound like a. I don't know, it sounds like a sitcom.
Mr. Papa.
Is on tour. You'll be in Chicago tomorrow night, by the way. at
Yeah.
the City Winery, 2 shows. Who are your in real life your best friends that happen to be comedians?
Colin Quinn, Jerry Seinfeld,
And Jerry's sort of
Daniel
like
Tosh.
Jerry's like a generation ahead of you, kind of.
Yeah, they are. Both
Comedy
those guys are older.
Daniel's
they-
a little younger than you.
Daniel's a little younger, not much younger. He just looks younger.
He acts a little younger.
Yeah, acts a little younger. All my friends are comedians, really. Jeff Garlin, all these people.
You know, your first experience on stage. How old were you?
I was out of school. I was probably 25, something
wow.
like that, 26, something like that. And
What prompted you to hop up on a stage and try doing stand-up comedy?
well, when I was in college, I was always I wanted to be a comedian when I was a kid. Like literally when I was like 7th grade, I saw this one summer listened to Let's Get Small and Class Clown, these 2 albums with my friends, like older brothers, and we were like all sitting around listening to comedians, and I was like, oh my God, this is a job. Like, this is what adults do this. And I was funny. So I just always wanted to be a comedian. And then when I went to school, I started acting. and I was in the theater, and then when I got out, I realized I had to people had to give me parts. I have to actually get hired to do this acting thing. So I was like, well, I should try stand up. So I looked in the Village Voice, and there was a thing at the New York Comedy Club. If you brought some friends, you can get on stage. So June 12th, 1993, I got my friends in my car, and I drove across from New Jersey, across the bridge that you almost fell through.
Yeah.
And
GW. Had you written a show, an act?
Yeah, I had a couple jokes. I had some jokes in my pocket. One of them was like actually in a joke form. It was they're handing out condoms in schools now. When I was in third grade, I needed 3 notes and a blood test just to get on the bookmobile. And that was like a real joke. And but I walked into the New York Comedy Club, and it was my 5 friends, and there was like 2 other people. It was but that was the whole audience. But there was a kid on stage, I forget his name, and then Greg Giraldo was waiting to go on. A very young, nervous, super sweaty Greg Giraldo was terrified to go on. And we just started talking, and I went up and I did my thing and got a couple laughs, and it was a huge rush. And I thought Greg was really funny, and he thought I was really funny, and we exchanged numbers, and that was it. We became like best friends. And
Was he already a lawyer?
He had been a lawyer. I don't think he had left it yet. He was about to leave. And the 2 of us just that was it. I was just hooked.
Well, that's great. Now, do you have a joke that you currently like that gets no laughs, that you're going to cling to forever and work into your? 'Cause almost every comedian has something that they think is really great, and they keep trying to work it, and never works for them. And
There's one that doesn't get a laugh. It's really a tag. And I keep I don't know why I keep saying it, because it just doesn't get a laugh.
Can we hear it?
Yeah, it's this runabout. It's this runabout how arrogant stores are, and they collect so much information from you. You end up in these long-term relationships with them, and it goes into all these arrogant Whole Foods kind of stores, and then it goes into this Costco bit that's the place where real people are. Like no one thinks they're better than you at Costco. Everyone knows who they are at Costco. Sure. I'm disgusting, and I need more stuff immediately. And then I go into this run about that, and I talk about the place is so massive they have to hand out. The place is so massive they have to hand out samples in little cups to keep up your strength. It's like a white trash marathon in that place. Here's a fried bologna ball. You're doing great. That's great. And here's the tag. There's fried chicken popsicles in aisle 10. You can get there by Tuesday if you keep up the pace. Nothing.
I like it.
Nothing. I tried pausing on fried chicken popsicle. Maybe that's the funny part. In my mind, it's like the place is so big. I guess it's too much. The place is so big that to get to aisle 10 to get the fried chicken popsicles, it's going to take you until Tuesday.
Sure.
Right.
We don't know in the joke what day we're at, where we're starting. It shouldn't be in there anymore. Fried chicken popsicle to me is funny, so that's what keeps me hanging on, but 0 laughs.
I asked you that because I have asked many a comedian that, and I remember we were talking to Carlin once, Mr. Carlin, who was, of course, a great comedian, and he was kind of not into it. He didn't really. I don't think he really wanted to be talking to anybody at that moment. But I asked him that, and all of a sudden, time froze, and he went, "Oh yeah." He was so excited to get out the thing that he loved that everybody was hating.
That's great.
It seems to work with everybody. Another question I will often ask someone: say if you're a professional football player, I would ask you, what is the best movie about professional football? And
right.
In one year, I remember they would say North Dallas 40, and then another year they would say what was it, any given Sunday, whatever was on any Sunday. What's the best movie about being a stand-up comedian? Is there one, or is there a? I know
there's parts
there's
of
some
them.
TV shows. There's Crashing.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, it's hard for me to watch those. I mean, I like everyone on those shows, but like the I'm Dying Up Here, the Showtime one is for me as a comedian. Anytime like you see in those shows, a comedian come off stage and he sees another comic and he's like, I almost had him.
Right.
You'll get him next time. It's like, it never happens.
They're just joyful that you bombed.
Yeah, yeah.
The best recently, I think, is in The Big Sick. They really capture some of that green room banter
I love that
between
movie.
comics.
Me too.
Yeah.
That I thought was pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty
with,
accurate.
with Bo Burnham. and-
Right.
Yeah, I saw it on a plane on someone else's seat. I haven't seen. Like I watched.
But then that movie makes one of the big cardinal sins of stand-up comedy movies, where the guy has a rough. Something's going
Spat
on in
with
his
his
life,
girlfriend,
and then he goes on stage and he freezes, and the audience is like, "What's he going to do?" And then he starts talking about that, and it kills. Like, shut it! No.
Yeah. There's a lot of fakeness. There's a Funny People, the one with Jerry Lewis and Oliver Platt.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yes.
funny bones.
Funny Bones.
Funny yeah.
Bones.
That's a
There's
good one,
there's
yeah.
a couple moments in that they really get to the essence of what it is to be funny and what it is to be a comedian. Oliver Platt is Jerry Lewis's son. Jerry Lewis is a famous comedian. Oliver Platt's trying to be funny, he just doesn't have it. And that dynamic, there's a couple moments in that are really on.
The worst one probably was Punchline,
Punchline was
where the comedians had lockers at the comedy club.
yeah.
What?
They don't.
Yeah,
they
they
don't
have-
have lockers?
Sally-
Well,
Sally-
where do they keep their stuff?
Sally Field gets up there and does a bit about the the wheel on her shopping cart is out and the crowd howls.
Yeah.
There's a big sign, hack premise number 7.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.